Guys, Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. I've got the pistol packing Marshall from Ramen Toy back on the channel today, and this video will be a follow-up to the full review I did of this test shot model last week. So if you want to see the full action figure review of this test shot unit for Ramen Toy's upcoming Marshall figure, go check out that earlier video. I'll have a link for it in the description box too. Now, in this video, I'll be doing a comparison of the Marshall test shot figure with several other prominent figures in the market. Just a reminder that this is an early test shot unit. It is unpainted and will still be revised further before the final figure is in your hands. Now, the first comparison I wanted to feature here is this comparison shot of all of the BraveStarr figures that have been released to date. That's right, this is the BraveStarr Multiverse. Starting with the left, with the first ever released 8-inch scale figure from Mattel in 1986, and in the middle is the 7-inch scale test shot unit of the Marshall from Ramen Toy, and lastly, we have the 6-inch scale version from Destin Toy that was released 2 months ago. Now, I just love how when you put all of them together, they are in a perfectly descending order of height, okay? Now, the first BraveStarr figure from 1986 really stood out as Mattel decided to go in a completely different direction from their He-Man figures and give us much larger figures with way more articulation. That being said, you still need to be careful when you're handling the vintage BraveStarr figure, as the hips are extremely prone to breaking off. This is because they are attached to a fragile plastic rod that's located inside that allows the ball-jointed hip rotation to take place. Unfortunately, the rod breaks easily. Now, I've handled a lot of these old BraveStarr figures where this has happened. You don't want to see that happen to your unit. So if you're looking for units on the secondary market like eBay, do look out for that, alright? Here's a look at the full face reveal of both figures with their cowboy hats off. And hats off also to both of these guys for a job well done keeping the peace. Now here's a comparison between Mattel's BraveStarr cowboy hat and the one from Ramen. Naturally, the Mattel one is going to be much bigger, but this shows you just how much bigger. And as you can see, the vintage hat is big enough to completely swallow the other. Now here's a comparison shot of the rifles, with the vintage one being on top. Both of them have a similar sculpting style, but Ramen's version adds the strap, and the rifle is only available as an exclusive when you pre-order the Marshall figure from Ramen Toy's website. Here's a comparison shot between both neutral laser pistols. Of course, the one from Ramen is going to look a whole lot better defined once you see it painted. Now, the vintage BraveStarr figure only comes with one other additional accessory piece, and that is the removable vest that he has on. But he does have a special feature, alright, a gimmick. Pressing this button on the back allows him to just draw his pistol in a firing motion. Yeah, gimmicks were a really big deal back then. Before I get into more comparisons, and there's a lot to come by the way, so stay tuned. Before I get into that, I wanted to show you guys how the Marshall looks like with all of his armor taken off. Now this lawman comes with a lot of removable pieces. Starting with his vest, you can unhook this on the sides like so, and the easiest way to get it off him is to just pull his head off. Okay, just pull it off and then get the vest over him. Now that that's done, you'll notice that he's wearing body armor underneath as well. Now this Marshall is just fully layered, and the armor within him also has his iconic star symbol on it. Okay, check this out. Now, the next thing for you to do is unhook his belt and get that off him too, right? All those additional pockets and pouches, get it right off him, okay, just like so. And then you also find there's more actually. There's also armor that you can remove on his knee and shin areas. He has got protection on all of these areas where someone might be blasting at him. And once he has all of this stuff off, you get this really nice alternate look to him. One that is even leaner looking because you remove something like 10 kg off him, right? Okay, but it just goes to show you as well how much work and effort went into the figure. Not with just all of the accessories and multiple costume options or face portraits, but also with all of the different separate pieces that went into his overall design and costume. Now this Marshall figure will definitely end 2024 as one of the top 10 best action figures of the year. Now it's time to get down to some rocking comparisons. Here's the Marshall test shot figure next to the vintage 1986 BraveStarr Tex Hex figure. Tex Hex is of course BraveStarr's all-time arch nemesis. The action figure shares the same body though, and also most of its problems like the fragile hip possibility. Now though we've not seen any news on this yet, it seems almost a given that Ramen Toy will be doing their own version of this evil sci-fi outlaw at some point. Next, we have a comparison with the 1986 BraveStarr Thunderstick figure, one of my all-time favorite BraveStarr figures and also villain figures of the 80s. Thunderstick also incorporates the same action figure body as BraveStarr and Tex Hex, but goes a step further by including vac metal into the sculpt, and there's so much shiny vac metal here. Here's the Marshall next to more BraveStarr bad guys, and this time it's Sandstorm. Sandstorm uses a completely different sculpt as his gigantic belly is actually a tank that holds liquids for you to spray at his enemies. I've also reviewed these BraveStarr villain figures separately on the channel, so once you're done with this video, go head on over and check out those older videos too. Now here he is next to Ramen's Quicksilver figure from the Silverhawks line in 2022. You can see that they have the same scale and height and will fit together well in the same toy universe. Now a lot of people slept on this Quicksilver figure when it first came out. Now that was a mistake. It truly is a magnificent treat for Silverhawks fans, and they even included a very nice and shiny metallic finishing. Here's the Marshall next to Ramen Toy's Monstar figure, who definitely looks monstrous side by side, but that's only because he's supposed to. Okay, Monstar is a huge hulking guy, and these two figures scale well together. You can have BraveStarr joining up with the Quicksilvers to battle this evil crime boss from Limbo. And here's the Marshall next to the Super 7 Quicksilver figure, which was released last year. Once again, the Marshall can definitely be a good action figure buddy of the Silverhawks as they share the same size class. Now here he is alongside Lionel, leader of the Thundercats. This is Super 7's toy recolor version from last year, one of the best Lionel face sculpts ever, and the Thundercats could definitely use BraveStarr's animal powers in their war to defeat Mumra. Now we have him alongside the G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes figure. The Classified Series figures are all 6-inch scale, so you do expect them to be shorter, but there are some taller figures in the line I think that may also reach about 7 inches. Let me know in the comments. Here's the Marshall alongside another futuristic Western style character, and it's the original vintage Motu Rio Blast. Now these guys know all about drawing laser pistols. Put them together and you'll be in for a lot of pow 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 and pew pew pew. Here he is alongside the Marvel Legends movie Venom action figure. Somewhere out there is a crossover waiting to happen where the Venom alien symbiote crash lands on New Texas and the Marshall has to battle a venomized Tex Hex. Next up is a comparison with the NECA Ultimate Jason Voorhees action figure. This is a crossover that could also happen because Jason has after all been to space. Yeah, you think I forgot about that? Here he is next to the Land Commander from Ramen Toy's 80s Commander series. Sadly, the 80s Commanders are not in the same size class, so these guys cannot play together in the same toy universe. Not for now at least. The Predator is here. This is the Leonard Toys 7-inch scale figure released in 2022, and something like the Predator would definitely be on the hunt for the Marshall. They are after all both hunters and trackers, and the Western type setting was indeed present in the last Predator movie, Prey. Okay, now we're getting down to the Masterverse. The Marshall stands up excellently, shoulder to shoulder with the Motu Masterverse He-Man figure. That's right, okay, and that is fantastic. These two will go together great on your display, and He-Man will need the talents of a gunslinger like the Marshall to take on the dark forces of Skeletor. Okay, that's the whole bunch of action figure comparisons that I wanted to share with you. But there's one more item. It's not a figure, but a vehicle. One of the largest 8-inch scale vehicles ever produced in the 1980s. This is BraveStarr's transforming stagecoach, an absolute beast of a combat carriage. I've been meaning to do a full review of this at some point, but for now, I wanted to see how the 7-inch scale Marshall figure will look like on this vehicle, and I'm very happy to see that he's a great fit. Now you can seat him comfortably on the stagecoach, and in fact, with the better and more reliable articulation you're getting with this figure, I would say that he fits far better than the original BraveStarr figure did. Okay guys, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop me a like and a comment if you did. Share this video out there. If you have not pre-ordered the Marshall figure yet but would like to do so, I have included a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch all of you guys again real soon with more content right here.